You're listening to For Better and Worse with Jess and Rach.
We are absolutely winging it here.
We are wanging.
We're recording two in 1 week. Two in a week, guys. We're just trying to get by here.
Yeah, as Jess was leaving on Tuesday, we had a plan for her and Joe to do an episode, but then realized I was not going to be in state for this. Physically, I'm going to Texas.
Which would be okay because Joe and I would be recording, but Rachel is in charge of the editing.
Yeah.
And we have literally maybe this where we're at now to teach me.
Yeah.
It would have maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
And we're my brain actually couldn't even probably retain any information you would give me in that regard. So
it would be a nightmare. And then we were also thinking we don't want Jess and Joe's episode to be the last episode of season 1. And so it's trying to then find a week for me and Jess. I was like,
it was a mess.
I was like, when can you be here next?
I was like, okay, I'll see you in 2 days. And here I am.
And here you are.
In all my glory. We are on our last leg. I think we've been saying that. But this is going to be a fun episode.
Yes. And Jess, I think the whole world is on its last leg. I don't know. I think, didn't we talk about we were like,
we did.
Something's wrong with the stars.
But I sent you something Brene Brown posted.
It's the post-COVID crisis.
It's a term. Yeah. It's like a post-pandemic probs.
Yeah.
Quoted Brene Brown. That's actually not the technical term she used, but I think it's so true. Everyone is either like we talked about this last week, but entering into an absolute shit show, or your life is significantly shifting.
Yeah, it's just a state of unrest, I believe.
A state of unraveling, if you will. So we all in this together.
We are. I have a story that I wanted to tell last episode, but forgot.
Okay.
Because on Sunday, I had an engagement session. You know how it go. Up in Cleveland, Edgewater, classic.
Mm-hmm.
Got my favorite spot there, a little side beach area moment. We love it. Taking photos of my couple. They're great. Listen to the pod. Hey, Kate and Dave, how you doing?
Kate and Dave, thanks for listening.
Kate and Dave, thanks for being here. And so we're taking photos. Everything's great, and then we go down to the beach area. We see out of the corner of our eyes a woman sliding down the side. There's stairs. She's sliding down the cliff face. She's not falling. She's just sliding on her butt. We hear a beer bottle fall. We're like, all right, a little too turnt on a Sunday evening. I'm just ignoring, classic, people of Cleveland. You got to just keep rolling, keep going.
Keep it pushing.
Keep pushing. You got to keep it professional.
Turn a blind eye.
Yeah.
Make sure they're alive. Yeah. Not a dead person rolling down.
Out of the corner of my eye, I see her. Taking photos. And I hear another big and I see a sealed wooden box, which I'm like, ashes. Maybe we're going through something.
Yes.
To which I'm like, I'm sorry for your loss, probably. But I keep shooting, of course, because she also seems very drunk. And I'm not seeing really anyone around her.
Why is she going down this cliff?
I don't know if she knew about the stairs. And then we start walking down the beach a little bit. We're taking photos. And all of a sudden, we hear blood-curdling screams.
Was she throwing the ashes and weeping?
I believe.
Wait.
And it was a scene. And no hate, no shade. Was it the time? Was it the place?
I feel terrible.
But then the police were there. Then there were police officers in the water because she was how on Edgewater there's
she was probably so intoxicated.
Yes,
the public intoxication was this woman needs help.
But it's I'm just trying to shoot this beautiful couple. She's wearing the gorgeous dress on the water. We're trying to get those romantic shots, and it's just
a shit
screams,
show.
Absolute screaming.
Did it kill the vibe?
I just made a joke about it.
Well, as we do.
Because I didn't know.
We use humor.
As we use humor. And I was like, this will probably make it on my pod. And they were like, yes, we want to be on the pod.
Oh, my God.
So And God bless those officers of the coastal Cleveland squadron, just in the water, like just I think making sure that she was like, but she was like yelling at them, swearing at them. Like, I also was like, is there a gun in that box? I don't know the situation.
I would have stayed for the show.
There were so many people, like because like there's the upper parking lot, people just staring down.
Oh, I would
just looking at the scene.
I would definitely stay for the show.
Oh yeah,
what a scene!
Oh. It was a scene.
Oh my God, that's wild.
Anything can happen at your engagement session with me.
Truly. But that's why I try to avoid the public.
I know.
It throws things off for me, for my cup.
The other beach that I go to and know of, it's just like another like 15, 20 minutes. It's like Bay Village. And I'm like, I'm not in it.
It's too far.
It's too far.
I feel that.
Edgewater is 45 minutes away, which is still far, but it's about as good as we're going to get.
Feel that.
And it does a job.
Good.
So here we are.
And here we
are. Our final episode of season 1.
Guys, welcome to the final episode of season 1. A little bittersweet, if you will, but also I'm happy.
It had to be done.
Because I think we need to take a step back to like come back and be like obviously better and refreshed and giving you guys the freshest content, the great jokes. I think
quite literally, I still have 10 episodes to put on YouTube. In a very literal
as you guys know, Rach will never let you forget that. Any episode or any chance she gets, she's going to point out the flaw in YouTube.
The flaw in me. It's a me flaw. It's a problem.
I'm just going to nix that there. Rach, but you know what I wanted to bring up to you is that we never talked about Drake's new album. I know you did with Josh. And I'm not here to give a play-by-play.
Okay.
But I know that Josh took that over, took the initiative to talk on our podcast.
Yeah.
The comment was funny about the AI comment. I laughed out loud.
Yes.
And he actually warned me about that. He was like, I might have said something bad about Drake, might have trash talk Drake on your podcast. Yeah. So I was like, well, I'll be the judge of that. But truth is, the album's great. Okay. The album's great in my opinion. And it does get better with time. And I've heard this from a few people. But truly, before you guys, I was ready. I was fucking around. I'm going to play around with Divorce with Joe just so I can really feel the album. I was like, I'm pick a fight. I'll make it seem like our marriage is on the line so that when I listen to this album. But it didn't really work out that way because we were actually on our way to Kentucky
to celebrate
for our anniversary. But I was like, let me feel something.
Yeah.
Am I going to start thinking about my ex-boyfriend from high school again or what?
You know, that'll bring it down.
Hey, we know that, old chestnut.
Yeah.
But no, perfect. I just wanted to touch base. I just loved it.
You like it?
I just need to be, I think it needs to be said on the pod for me.
Yeah. I'll say it again. I just don't like that he calls himself a lesbian.
I knew.
It wasn't necessary.
Don't take him too serious. Just don't. Like, people could be mad. You could be mad. But
don't take one of the most influential people at their word.
Not too seriously, you know? I don't know. I thought it was a fun song.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. But I think it's all fun and jokes for him.
Good.
But I will say, if you're on the fence about it, I would say like sit with it because I've heard
listening to it. But it's a long album.
I know, and you said that, and I agree. But like your songs. If you do a quick listen through, you know which ones you're going to go back to.
Yeah.
Fair Trade is my fave, top notch. Okay. I also just like love the chorus on that. Like I don't know, and Travis Scott is amazing. But I do feel like listen to your favorite songs over and over again, and like it just like gets better with time, like fine wine.
All right.
So that's just like my quick little review of it. Needed to be touched. Sounded weird. Need to be touched. He needs to be touched. I need to be touched by him.
Okay.
Okay, Rach. I am delirious. I probably got like maybe 4 hours of sleep. So
we're just living, loving it today.
Yes. Do you have any tidbits for me before I rip right into current?
I feel like there was plenty of things. I was like, save it for the pod, but those all go away. So just hit me with the current events.
I don't know if you heard of Lula Rich.
You know, I love a multi-level marketing scheme breakdown.
I'm so stoked for it. I have not seen it.
Okay.
Have you?
No.
So this is an Amazon documentary exposing the company LuLaRoe. If you're unfamiliar, it is the most chuggy clothing that has ever been made.
Yes. Very soft leggings, though.
Did you own a pair?
Just a pair of black ones. I told you, my mom, she won't buy in, but she will buy out people's inventory. Like, she won't sell it, but you better be sure. Pampered Chef, those nail like sticker things, the essential oils, LuLaRoe, and that mascara brand that was going around, Mary Kay, Avon. My mom, if you are a boss babe and you need to sell something,
just because Sherry's like, I'll support you.
Yes.
It comes from having a big heart.
Supporting women. Okay.
And she's here for that.
Oh, she's all over it. She loves it.
I know.
But she won't buy again if she doesn't like it. Like, she knew that mascara stuff was garbage.
Trashola.
No shade in the game, but I did once have like a bride whose sister sold mascara and made the bride wear mascara products for her sisters. Like,
shameless plug, she said.
I was like,
she said, shameless plug here.
I was like, don't do your sister dirty like that.
Wait, so LuLaRich, Amazon's newest docuseries exposing this company and their marketing. Oh, MLM. Multi-level marketing. There we go. So I say go watch it. There's TikToks all over just exposing them, and then everyone hopping on like, yes, this is how it started. This is how it ended. It's going to be good. I love a good scheme. You know me.
It's all schemes.
And the scams.
Like girls.
It all started with my love of Firefest. I'll bring it back. You need it.
I should watch it. With what time? I don't know.
We will get there.
We'll get, maybe on my flight to Texas or Maine or Arizona. One of those theory that it's going to happen within the next month.
Yeah.
Why am I the way I am? There are just these things. I'm stoked. I'm stoked about Maine and Arizona. Those are both engagement session in Maine, and then my cousin's getting married in Arizona, and I'm shooting it. It's gonna be dumb crazy. But the Texas thing was I can make it work. It's a filmmakers conference.
Well, I know that.
Will I be overwhelmed? Will I leave it feeling inadequate? Time will tell. Time will tell.
Time will tell. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Random question, though. Remember when this also goes with things that are embarrassing for no reason, even though that's phasing out. But first class, first syllabus week, put yourself there.
Okay, first week of class.
Yeah. And everyone's going around the room. I don't know if we asked each other this question yet, but everyone's like, one thing interesting about yourself. Did we talk about this?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So you're going around the tell me who you are and tell me one thing interesting about yourself. What was your go-to? And don't tell me you picked the easy way out, because fucking Kyle in the bag is like, I'm Kyle, Delta Chi, and I play football.
Interesting, Kyle.
Didn't you always want to spice it up, like throw for a loop, make them turn heads? What did you go with? You were artsy, and you were probably like, I picture you, what's that movie? She's All That. You were that girl with the hat.
No. I was the cringe girl that was like, my boyfriend is British. Yeah. Because I had nothing else interesting about me at that point.
Well, that sucks.
I really had no other personality traits. And when I was in college.
I'm sorry to hear.
What was I going to say? I'm a pharmacy technician.
That's kind of cool.
I would get a grocery store pharmacy.
It was about you, not about who you were dating. You know?
But I didn't know that at the time. Or I'd be like, I'm on fire for the Lord right now. Don't get me started.
Oh my God. I was not prepared. I'm on fire for the Lord. You're gonna trigger some people out here with those fighting words. Oh my God. My go-to was I sucked my thumb till I was 12 years old. And everyone's like, ew. I'm like, yeah, I'm good at sucking things. I'm
Jess.
kidding. It's not what I meant by that.
Too much.
Too far.
And I'm trying to think of if I had any other interesting quality about me in college.
Or if I was like, that was too embarrassing, I wasn't feeling ballsy, I was like, I still sleep with my baby blanket. I was known as, it was weird. I was weird girl.
Yeah.
But I also like held this confidence that people were like, oh, she's kind of, I think I was going a funny route. Wanted to be funny with embarrassing myself.
Yeah.
Which I still do. So that was always my go-to. I just thought that was a funny question.
It is a funny question. I wish I had a better answer.
I'm on fire for the Lord. Is that the title of this episode?
No, I don't want to get on the wrong side of whatever podcasts are. I can't deal with that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
All right, Rach, intro with the meat of the episode.
Okay, the intro to the meat of the episode is we're kind of capping off. I wanted to list off our top 5 or like our most downloaded episodes. And then I was going to make bullet points about all 5 of those episodes, but I got through 2.
Cool.
And then we've got DMs. So
we'll
do a deep dive into that and end off with DMs, or do we want to start with the DMs?
I feel like in true For Better and Worse fashion, we start off with the DMs. Okay, let's rip into these DMs.
Rip them open, babe.
Rip them wide open. These DMs came through when we asked you guys to expose your cringe bridal party stories.
Yes. I really haven't read these. So
I am reading them for the first time.
Okay.
So excuse me if I stutter. Okay, we decided not to include any family in our wedding parties. I have 8 younger siblings, 4 brothers and 4 sisters.
Jesus.
And he has 2 sisters and a brother and a brother-in-law. That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people. That's a bridal party.
That is. So fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
My family is totally cool with not being involved because they get to drink, eat, have fun, and their only responsibility is photos. His sister and brother-in-law, however, are pretty upset. She was left out of his ex-wife's bridal party in favor of her choosing my fiance's other sister, and his brother-in-law was a backup groomsman when one of his friends dropped out last minute. For similar reasons, we also decided to do completely away with the flower girl and ring bearer. We just can't choose between nieces and nephews. Another complaint from his first wedding when neither of their toddlers were included. So by trying to make things easier, we have now created a huge family issue with his sister and brother-in-law. They're still not included, but I feel like we're only going to make them angrier when we announce we're requiring COVID vaccines.
Oh, yep. There are a couple things there.
Yeah.
One, I mean, you're doing the best you can. I firmly believe do not pick between your siblings or their siblings. Unless you know they have a sibling that like doesn't live there, they're not close with, like, and they're going to be cool with not being in it.
Yeah.
But like, it is a bit cringe when it's like, especially as a photographer, I'm like, get your sibling in there. And it's like, and then it's like, oh, someone's not here. And I'm like, oh. Or, you know, like they aren't in the bridal party or, you know.
But it's like also, it gets kind of confusing, like even reading this. So it's like sister, but your in-laws. Yeah. Like, so once your family and your siblings are married, it's like, is that an obligatory thing that their spouses are in there?
I don't think so. Unless, I mean, if you're close, but that's the thing, like your bridal party should be who you're close with. If you're not like overly close with your family, then I don't know. Kids thing, like, I was just saying this. I ain't having kids at my wedding. None. You can stay home. I'm very close with all my friends' kids.
Yeah.
You ain't coming. I'm sorry. Hey. Eric, Miles, Florence, Ollie, and Forrest. You can't come, babes. I love you. I'll catch you.
You would have more fun.
I'll catch you on the slip and slide, the next weekend, but I will not. Just
it is a lot. It's almost like I feel it's like you want them there.
Yeah.
But it's such a hassle for the people taking care of them.
It's like they aren't having a good time. They're up past their bedtime. They're out of their whack. They didn't get their nap. And then they're also expected to perform and like be on their best behavior, even though like they have none of the right environment. So, and here's my thing on the whole vaccines thing. I am pro. I had a wedding a couple weekends ago where it was either be vaccinated or negative COVID test within 48 hours and wear a mask. This is where shit is going to shut down again, is because especially with the Delta variant, it is like sweeping groups of people. Like I had a friend whose bride shot a wedding a couple weeks ago. Bride contacted her and was like, "Hey, just so you know, me, the groom, and at least 20 other people have tested positive for COVID."
Oh my
from Saturday.
God. That's my worst nightmare.
And it's like, the fuck? But it's like we're just living in this like reality where like that can't happen. And I even talked to like one of my couples who's the groom is like immunocompromised, and the groom's brother won't get like refuses to get vaccinated or wear a mask, and they're just like, he's just who he is. And I'm like, a fucking asshole? Like, no. Like, I'm sorry. I believe that weddings can and should happen, but the only way that they're going to continue to happen safely is with the proper precautions in place.
Right.
And it's
also,
you do you.
Yeah.
You do you.
You do you.
You get to piss people off this day.
It's also on the venue too.
Yeah, the venues. Yeah.
The venues are just like dropping all rules because they want money, and I get that, but it's also stipulation.
Yeah.
Should be in place. Especially for vendors too.
Yeah.
Like we got to be there too, but like.
I know. And I just hate it because it's like, I've talked about this before, but it's like when we wear a mask, I'm protecting you from me, someone who's already vaccinated, but I want I want people to not get me sick, because what's upsetting is like, this is what we mean. Like we live in an ecosystem, right? So if I go to a wedding and people have made their own choice not to take any COVID precautions, the next weekend I have a wedding. They probably have weeks off or could take weeks off. So if I go to a wedding where there's no COVID precautions and people aren't wearing masks and they're indoors and I get sick despite the fact that I'm vaccinated and I'm contagious, that means my next weekend I can't be there for the couple that paid me just as much as this person, is just as important to me as this other couple. And it's like, think about your vendors when you're doing this, because like, I can't describe how like heartbroken I'd feel like if I got COVID, because I already did get COVID and had to miss a wedding.
Yeah,
that happened to me last year. It was my last wedding of the year. Thank God for Madison and my couple that was like chill about it, and you know, we're just like, but literally 2 days before the wedding, I was like, I need to call you.
I also feel like, kind of off topic, but not really, but like photographers now, just like bringing this up to you, are like associate shooting others like all the time. I'm like, I have anxiety thinking about that.
Yeah.
Like I just build such a great relationship with my couple. Like I wouldn't do them dirty like that.
I think
not that I couldn't trust whoever I picked to do it, but it's like, you chose me.
Yeah.
You paid me.
And I personally, I don't like associate shooting. So like I got a wedding the other week, the couple that required vaccines and or masks and a negative COVID test. I got that wedding 2 weeks before it happened because their photographer refused to do any of those things, which I thought was fucking insane. Like the photographer gave him a full refund, and I'm like, is really worth like, I mean, every single wedding that I take on, I do, and I budget for it in my like life, and it's like, you really don't need that money, or you didn't. Weird. Bizarre. Especially because all of last year we were all wearing masks and we had to.
Right.
So strange. But yeah, it's just bizarro land out here. And just do what's best for you. And I think what's worse than having like a vaccine like requirement or mask requirement or whatever is if someone gets really sick or dies from coming to the event that is supposed to be the best day of your life.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what sucks, is we don't want to think about that.
No,
I think as a whole group of society, we've been like, that ain't going to happen. That can't happen. That can't happen.
Right.
But it does happen. It's happening.
It is happening.
It's happening.
It's scary.
I know.
Okay. Cringe bridal party. Here we go.
Oh, yes.
I was just in a wedding where one of the bridesmaids felt like she should have been the maid of honor. She spent the entire bachelorette party and the day of the wedding trying to one up the actual maid of honor.
Oh, no.
Who killed it, by the way? Examples. Readjusting the bride's train after the maid of honor already did it during the ceremony.
That's not real.
Crashing the bride's moment with her mother of putting on her dress after the photographer let us hang back because she wanted a moment with mom. Making a big deal about forgetting to bring her speech when she wasn't even supposed to give one. What? or saying things to the rest of us like, it's crazy that I've known the bridesmaid name, whatever. It's crazy I've known Karen for the shortest amount of time. And we're obviously the closest. This girl said, needless to say, I'm so happy that wedding is over. Never seen maid of honor turf wars quite like that before. Oh my God. Not the readjusting after someone already did it.
Which, can I be honest? Can I give a hot take?
Fuck
adjusting the train.
Leave her fucking dress alone.
Oh, okay. Do it maybe once, right? When she first stands up there.
Or if she's in a church and there's stairs, I get that.
Yep.
But throughout the...
No.
I know. Rach actually was the first person to be like, just leave it. Just leave it.
Yes.
Just kick it behind you.
I'm like... Oh,
unless
it honestly drives me crazy.
Unless it's absurd, like a huge ass train, like,
and it maybe if it's like a tripping hazard, but like there's no like I've had maids of honor spend a minute or more.
Keep things moving.
I'm Sarah, just stand there.
But it's also like that. If it's just floofed out and draped over, that's it. It's all we need. I'm telling you. Yeah. You do not notice that it's completely spread out.
Please don't get on your hands and knees about this.
Hey, please don't go down any further than a squat to fix this. Like literally a quick 10-second, 15-second.
And let's say it's a bend and floof.
A bend and floof.
It's not a... No,
seriously.
And as soon as they move, if they go to light the candle, you don't need to do it again.
This is like elementary school parachute. Lift it up.
Yeah.
Let it fall. Let it drape. Leave it. We obviously have some feelings.
I have strong feelings about this. And it's also like during bridesmaids photos, it's like, I know the photo that I'm getting. I know the angle that I'm going to shoot at. I know everything. And when they're like, we need to spin our dress around, I'm like, that's not what I'm doing, because I'm going to have you guys walk. And then you're going to step on her dress.
Exactly.
Please don't tell me what to do. I'll get real pissed off.
Yikes. Yeah, big yikes. Big
feels about this.
Big yikes on this story.
Yes.
Though, I mean, not the readjusting after the maid of honor already did it. For me, that is like, what the fuck?
But that's the thing. So there are times in my life where I'm like, am I really confrontational? Because sometimes I find myself avoiding conflict.
What?
Those are the moments where I'm like, sit down. Like at my wedding this past weekend. I'm sorry. It's also just like when I'm in the middle of doing something, the last thing I think of is you need to be polite. So we were in the middle of this like highway, back road highway. Okay. Taking this dope photo of them in this like her dad's like orange car. It was great. But like traffic was backed up on both sides because I was like, I'm doing this shot. One of the planners comes up to me behind me and is like, just so you know, we're ready. And I was like, I looked at her.
Who said that?
The planner came up to me in the middle of Fort.
Ready for what?
The reception. I was like, the bride and groom aren't there. No, you're not.
Yeah, what? What does that even mean?
Yeah. And she was like, we're ready to line everyone up.
You're like, I'm not.
And I was like, I'll get there when I get there. And then I like turn around and walk by. I'm like, I'm such a bitch. But it's like, please sit down. Like you knew, like, it wasn't like I'd taken an hour. I had them for like 20 minutes, maybe.
We're doing a job here too, sis. You know?
Also, like,
I don't mean to be rude.
Like, and this is the thing that really annoys me about the whole like timeline thing. It's like those guests have alcohol. They've got appetizers. They're in a beautiful scenic location. They are fine. Like, they're fine.
Yeah. Also, we can push this back about 10 minutes.
They can have another beer.
Drink. Yeah.
Another free drink. For the love of Pete.
This is a funny story.
Okay.
This is a bridal party story at a bachelorette party. And just it's not super cringe. It's actually really funny. And the way she writes this, I chuckle to myself. A bridesmaid and I were in desperate need of a lighter at 2:30 a.m. after hitting the Nashville bars pretty hard. There was no fucking lighter to be found. But the house we were staying at had a stove on the second floor. It was weird. Bedrooms on the first floor type of setup. So since it was smoke a ciggy or literally die, we chose life and chose to light those suckers and get back downstairs to the porch outside. Mind you, there was definitely a balcony, like right through the living room, which was wide open to the kitchen. There were some other bridal party members passed out on the couches, and we didn't want anyone to know about the lighter gate. So Gunning it downstairs was the move. We light the cigs on the electric stove as quietly as...
How is that possible?
Not even, I don't even know. That's so janky.
They were surprised by
That's so janky. I love that. We light the cigs on the electric stove as quietly as we can and book it down the hall to the stairway. While we high-five in excitement down the stairs, to the bridesmaid trips and eats shit so loudly for about literally half the steps. So fucking funny. Bruises the next day. Instagram cut me off, but if this doesn't make the pod, I hope you get a chuckle out of it. I just love the way she says it was life or it was smoke a ciggy or literally die. We chose life.
People.
I know.
Those are our people for sure.
Liz, you're our people.
You're our people. That's so real.
I love that. Just a funny story. We love bachelor party stories.
We do.
Bring those in too. Those are probably funny. And most of them are probably being white girl wasted. And we get a good laugh out of that. So bring them on.
Bring them on. Okay, we ready for...
Let's go see where this takes us.
So are you interested... Do you feel like you know which episodes of ours did well? Like, do you feel like you remember? Like,
I never look. I mean, you're in charge of like Buzzsprout, which like does the count, so that the number of downloads. So you probably check this more than I do.
Yeah.
I would like to say that our more serious ones probably did better. So like, where we had some like good moments, or when we gave advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, a lot of the advice ones. So,
you guys, why do you care so much about what we have to say?
I was shocked that I shouldn't be shocked, but episode 1 had the most downloads.
Intro was trash.
I didn't count the intro, but yeah, it was probably one of them because there wasn't anything to talk about with the intro. We were just like, hi,
this is who we are.
No, but episode 1, Toad vibes.
Okay.
The top 8 things you should know before your wedding.
Okay.
Was the most.
I think we hit it strong with that.
We did. Then there was episode 13, Throw It Down for Eleanor Roosevelt, our top piece of dating advice.
I think that's when we went TikTok viral.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So that makes sense.
Yes. Then episode 14, Down with the Sickness, was our number 3 top episode.
I would say the episode that got the most feedback was with the guys.
That's so interesting. I wasn't expecting that one to do well. I don't know why.
I think,
so that was Enneagrams.
Good to know. I think we should bring them back. And then we also have plans, or I just made this up, but I want to have plans I'll do an episode with Josh, you do an episode with Joe. Can't handle.
I love Joe so much.
It will be, you guys will be funny.
Yeah.
And me and Josh are very similar humor. So I think we will crack up. I look forward to cracking up.
I look forward to cracking up. Because really, it's just like hanging out with our partners, but just off-brand versions.
Literally,
so
yes.
Like Joe is like the lawyer, upper middle class version of Josh.
Yes, pretty much. So it's kind of like perfect. I think we would look forward to cracking up.
I look forward to cracking up. Okay. And then number 4 was Swamp Ass Saturdays.
Ooh, okay.
Dating after a breakup.
The advice.
Yes. And then the 5th one was episode 3, Butt Strings, ASMR, and Rach's backstory.
Oh, okay.
People wanted the tea.
We're here for the tea.
You know how they be.
Good. Oh, yeah. Those are like our beginning ones.
I know. So, yeah, the 13 and 14, I think also Throw It Down for Eleanor Roosevelt. That was a TikTok viral situation.
It was.
So, yeah, I could go into a lot of like just like the TikTok psychology because our most viral TikTok didn't lead to more downloads. That our most viral TikTok was your like mimicking a maid of honor speech.
Yeah.
But it didn't lead to more downloads because it was just like, oh, that's funny, double tap. Versus like our serious TikToks were like, oh, I want to hear more.
Where we get advice.
TikTok, I've let you down. I've gone Ghostwriter on it. And it's
just the algorithm. You know what I mean? Like,
I just haven't been posted.
If you don't post and you have to post, like once you go viral, you literally have to post 1 to 2 times a day.
Yeah.
And
I ain't it for that.
We just don't have the time right now, but
maybe season 2.
We're coming at you live from season 2.
We're going to come at you hard and fast.
Yes.
Okay. So I did a breakdown of our top 2 episodes.
Okay.
So our number 1 episode was Toad Vibes, top 8 things to know. before you're like when planning your wedding. Do you remember your? So actually, what's funny is top 8. We have 9. You had 5.
Oh my
I
gosh!
knew that when I was listening to it, I was like,
who counts though?
"Who counts?"
when
So it was
they're
actually
listening?
top 9 things.
I do remember one.
Okay.
My first one was paid forward.
Yes.
And I use that wording. But I strongly still believe this.
Yes.
You have to let one vendor lead you to the other.
I agree. And we just had Aaron on. And that's a top example.
Perfect example of paying it forward.
Because we are going to be so much more excited to photograph your dancing. We know that once we hit to the reception, shit is handled. It's all going to be good vibes only. And
I will say I did get this a lot more this year before we recorded this, is that so many people were like, hey, looking for a DJ, hey, looking for a makeup artist. Yeah. And I actually just have a vendors list that I send out.
Right.
Preferred vendors that I would love to work with. So I feel like everyone wins in that situation.
They do. Mine was marry the right person. Started it off real serious.
Mm-hmm.
Which I still stand by that.
100%.
And like the tagline to that was like, be picky. Like it's okay to be picky and it's okay to like rethink who you're marrying. Even when you're engaged, like it's never too late. Like I've met people, like old friends and stuff, that have been like having serious problems with their partners. And it's like, this person comes to my mind. Like we're not really like friends, but I don't know. People delve their life into me sometimes. And she was like, but I started talking to my mom about it and she just freaked out about the wedding. So I just don't want to bring it up. Ooh. And I'm like, so you're going to marry him?
Oof.
You're dead ass going to marry him. I was like, okay.
Well,
hopefully your parents will pay for the divorce as well.
Right.
Seeing as they didn't want to entertain any other reality.
Yikes. Big yikes.
Your second piece of advice was set your wedding day priorities, 3 to 5 things. Agree. Strong agree.
So crazy. When I made this list, I really came at it from a point of a planner had said.
Yes.
And now if you were to ask me, I'm like thinking of more of a vendor.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of funny that my answers.
Well, now you're like in wedding season as a vendor. So you're constantly thinking.
So it's just funny, like I guess like just coming out of planning the wedding and like coming down from it all and before hitting wedding season. So it's just interesting.
And I had choose bridal party wisely, which I thought was funny because we just did
that episode. Yeah.
So still stand by that. We obviously just answered or read some DMs about bridal party, but I hope it's more clear than ever after all these couple of episodes.
I feel like a lot of tea came out. Like even more so, like one was really long that I heard from my friend that we kind of dove into, but we're not on the pod, just so long, so dramatic. But like, holy shit.
Yeah.
People just get butthurt for no reason.
They do. It's stupid.
But it's also like, let that be a reflection of who they are.
Truly.
More so than you.
If they're going to make your wedding about them, they don't need to be in your life.
It just like, that says more about them, and like you just can't take that to heart.
Seriously. Then you had, which was good, talk to married couples, ask them what stood out to you in recent weddings.
This is all from like a really different headspace. It's really cool to listen to though.
But that question, because then you said what stood out to you in recent weddings. I want to ask you, is there anything that stood out to you in recent weddings, like from this year?
Good question. In what regard? Well, how do we say this? Because
I don't know, like
just like trends or
trends or just things that you've seen this year that you really liked. Like I've talked about this before, but I've had a couple walk themselves down the aisle, which I loved, and I thought that was really significant. That I was like, that was really like cool for me to witness. Like, you guys are making this decision together. You're walking down this road together, and you're setting that precedent now here. And I think I really loved that.
You know what I did? What I thought was cool is that at my last wedding, they did a shot of whiskey, but it was said their vows, poured their partner's shot in this really cool glassware too, said their vows, poured the other person's shot, took the shot together of whiskey.
Oh, nice.
So that was classy. kind of cool.
Yeah.
And like in the vows, like the officiant was like smooth as Tennessee whiskey. She like slid that in there. I was like, dope.
It's so good.
Yeah, it was cool. I just thought that was kind of fun. Or just the ceremonial things I thought have gotten a lot more creative as I'm just shooting more weddings outside of the church.
Yes.
People can get as creative as you want with stuff like that. And I find that really fun, and like dive into that and maybe, you know, do some research on stuff like that. Like Joe and I did a time capsule, wrote letters to each other in a wine box. That was pretty standard. It just like ran out of time. But like just anything like that is, I think, is cool, and just get creative with it.
Yeah. And like things that stand out to you and make it special for you guys looking back on it. Like you guys have a wine bottle to open up and do that.
Yeah.
You know? Was it your 5th year?
5th, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll skip around, but your 5th one, your sneak it in one, was focused on the big picture. What's your end goal?
Yeah.
And I think as you're planning your wedding, thinking about the big picture is important. Like not just thinking about like what are the centerpieces going to look like, but like how can we celebrate this day continuously in the future?
Yeah.
Like a stupid thing that I think 3 years ago, if you asked me, I'm like, this is fucking stupid, was saving the top tier, freezing your top layer wedding cake. You know that people do that.
Yeah. And
I think it's sweet.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, and you freeze that cake. Well, it tastes good. I don't know, but it's like still a time to like sit and reflect. And like,
I will say, after like just being married 1 year, like it was cool to do something.
Yeah.
So like I had a jean jacket custom made for my wedding and wore it at my anniversary session. Like even like just stuff like that like you just kind of get to relive it in some type of way.
Each other in that
right.
way, continuously.
And like even if it is cake, even if it is letters on the first year, what are the traditions for anniversaries? Do you know? Isn't it like paper, metal, or don't they have some type of?
They do.
But I don't know who follows that. But
yeah, I don't know who follows that either.
But just stuff like that you can big picture, like celebrate for years to come.
Right.
And make it special every year.
Okay. 3rd for me was choose a wedding dress that you feel best in during your try-on. Not the dress that like you think is the prettiest or you want to love or like. And I also made notes that like bonus points for danceability. And I'm going to say something. I shot a wedding recently where I felt like creatively I was so limited because the bride could not move.
I can't attest to this enough. I feel the same way. I'm like, I can't sit you down. You can't. You literally can't sit down.
Yep.
But it just like
you can't sit
posing
down, you
is really limited.
Yeah.
And we're just in a season of really flexing this creative muscle, and like you're moving, you're leveling up because you know that's just what we should always be growing, and that comes with movement, and it's just tough. So it's like just be comfortable.
And with that, with the dress, shoes, like for the love of God, if you have an outdoor barn wedding and you're wearing high heels, smarten up.
Hey, I'm telling you guys, the heels don't make or break.
No, and you don't see them. Jess, I don't remember. Did you wear? You didn't wear your Converse all day.
No, I wore them at night.
Yeah,
but we photographed them, and that's fine. I wanted the details of them. And my heels. There is one photo of me in the teepee.
Yes, putting them on,
and then I think you like made me pose so you can really see my shoes. But like I actually didn't need that shot. Like I love that picture of me, but like I don't care about shoes. I'm not at that day. Like they were a standard piece. I hate heels, so
stupid.
A standard.
Just for the love of God, you don't need to wear heels. I find no joy in that. And then it's like I'm aware you're uncomfortable, so I don't want to make you walk down to this dope spot or do this thing because I'm like, what's happening? What is happening is how I feel during those times.
I had the Nike dress of dresses. I could have ran a marathon in that thing.
You really could. It was so comfortable.
I mean, top notch. But I don't care for that dress.
That is so weird now. What is it about it that you don't like?
I don't know. I think I just had a vision for something completely different. And although that rocked, it looked good. It fit the whole day. Couldn't have picked a better dress to fit the day.
Perfect.
I know. I don't know.
You wish it was like more glitzy? Or?
No, more just different. Like a poofy sleeve ordeal or something like, like it could have been more me.
Okay. I thought it was you. I don't think that. But I think what's hard is every year more new dresses come out.
That's hard.
New things, and then it's like, fuck. Like,
It's over.
I know exactly what dress I want right now. But when will I get married?
And that might change.
Style,
it's going to change.
I loved your dress.
Thank you.
I'm on team your dress. Also, I made the point. I'll make it again. Bustles don't work. Bustles don't work. Don't buy a heavy ass fucking dress with a crazy ass train and expect your bustle to work. It won't. It'll be uncomfortable. You'll be uncomfortable. If you're going to have that dress and you're sold on that dress, buy something else to dance in. So you're comfortable.
Hey.
Get something else.
Hey, team change into
I really am a team outfit change. But it's got to be now. I want like a 2-piece crop top, high waist pant, or
gotta be cute
jumpsuit.
Yeah, gotta be glitzy for the reception. It doesn't have to be. Just that's fun.
Do it.
That's rad.
And then you talked about personal touches, and then you said weddings feel flat without them, and I thought it's so true.
Oh yeah,
weddings feel so flat without personal touches. Because it was funny. I was talking to actually the groom who I wasn't shooting his wedding until 2 weeks before it. But he was like, just, you're talking like what comes next. And I was just telling him, and he's like, you do this a lot, huh? And he just like, he was older and aware of like how sterile these days can be if they're not about. He's like, I bet you've seen some just like the same exact wedding over and over again. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with that, but I hope that you make it personal. Like there's nothing wrong with like a simple wedding.
No,
absolutely not. Like there's really nothing wrong with the church and like ballroom situation. I'll never shit on that. No, but I hope that at the ballroom you have like, personal drinks that you guys like, or little like things that are about like are very personal to you.
Like even if it's photos, even if you guys love Twix bars and you put the like shit like that, small stuff, like that's what makes it more of an experience for your guests.
Right.
And like you
they'll
said,
remember those things.
If you're balling on a budget, like we're not shitting on what it looks like. Like I literally had a bride reach out to me and text me and say, I know this breaks my heart. She was like, this may sound really silly, but I just, see all these weddings that you do, and I'm sorry if my wedding seems really lame and boring. And I was like, no,
that's not what we're here about.
Oh no, that's not even what I'm about. Like, is our dope weddings great? Yeah. Our simple weddings dope? Yes. And I was like, I value your marriage over your wedding, and that's why you picked me. Like, it is not about how cool or trendy your shit is. Like, if it's cute and personal and it's great for you and your partner,
and you're having a good day.
That is, it will rate it.
Yes, if you're having a great day and you're fucking stoked that you didn't spend 48 hours.
Trust that I'm going to make it look like you had a bomb ass time. You know what I'm saying? Like if you are, it's going to show in your photos. And you picked me. Like,
but we're just saying, say Twix are your favorite candy, and you have a Twix thing. You know what you're going to get every Christmas from half the people you know and love?
Twix.
A Twix bar.
And
they'll remember it.
Tell me something wrong with that. Nothing. Looking dope.
Like, I think you and Joe established at your wedding, like something I didn't even necessarily know about you, is that you guys really like playing games. Because and people are going to remember that, like you'll get, housewarming gifts, you'll have games, you'll have all this stuff because people now know that. And I agree. I think keeping your wedding true to you and adding those personal touches, even if you have like a quote unquote cookie cutter wedding.
Like, and even with that, my brother-in-law is getting married, and we, as their gift, they just had a wedding shower. We bought them a bunch of fucking games. And they were like, this is one of the coolest gifts, because it's like, that means a lot coming from you guys, like the game people. And they're like, we don't have any games in our house. And I'm like, that was just such a good gift as a tip. If you don't know what else to get and you're late to the game,
going.
Get the game, like a hosting gift. Like I got them like whiskey, ice cubes, like get a nice shit to, people don't have that, like shit to host. So just a good tip of the dick. On the last episode of season 1, a tip of the dick is go for the hosting gift. Go for good, fun party games. Stuff like that.
Love that. And then my last one was do a boudoir session.
Oh,
stand by that.
Still stand by that.
Truly.
I've been popping off on boudoir sessions.
You have. I have not. I've been slacking, and I'm sorry to everyone who reaches out and wants to do self-love sessions. It's just not in the cards. Really, like when I do boudoir, I like to do marathons of them because it's like I'm in the headspace to create like that. Like I never want to create like because I do take them so seriously and personally that it's like I don't want to be not in the headspace.
Oh, I completely agree with that. Like if someone were to inquire, I'd be like, well, also I can do them here, so I can like push them for the winter. But you do. It is one of the most creative shoots you really have to get. I mean, it's posing, and we love candidates and movement based photography. So it's really out of our element. I mean, I guess I could speak for myself and maybe not for you, but yeah, shit's fun and it's dope. My clients have been very happy with them. So
yeah. And they're sweet. Like I had my groom from last week. I didn't end up taking the boudoir sessions. We couldn't make our schedules work, and she lived like 3.5 hours away. But when he opened up her book, he started crying, and he's like, "This is the first time I cried in 3 years. I can't." But it was just like, because that's how it's sentimental. It's like it's that realization for him, like, oh fuck, like this is my wife.
Oh
like,
yeah, it's a moment of like.
It doesn't all have to be ass shots. Like a lot of them are just like beautiful, like just like kind of like sultry headshots, like it's a shoulder shot, you know, like.
But that's so awesome, and you're like gifting these like vulnerable moments and to your partner. I love that.
Yeah, I love it. So that was the recap on episode 1.
Still stand by a lot of them.
I do too, but I think it's funny that like we'd probably both choose differently now.
Yeah, I think if you were to ask me if we like did a part 2 of it, I could keep going,
which we could for season 2.
Yeah, maybe we start off with that.
Yeah, that'd be good. Brainstorming.
Let's go
live on the pod. Okay, are you ready for our number 2 episode? Our second top episode breakdown.
Yes.
All right. Throw it down for Eleanor Roosevelt.
Throw it down for E. Rose.
Our top piece of dating advice.
Okay.
We each chose one piece of advice.
Switching mindsets.
Yes.
I had to like dive. I remember like doing a lot of like reflecting on this episode because I'm like, dating. What was it like to be dating? Yeah. And that doesn't mean like, I have a husband now. No, I just like had to get back in the mindset of this. So it's going to be interesting to hear the recap.
I also thought it was funny. I start off the episode with, I always get so insecure when I wear headbands.
Look at you wearing a headband now.
And then I go into deep detail about how I don't know what to do with my hair. And I'm like, now I got my hair figured out.
Oh, yeah. You got a great
I got the color and the cut down pat until it's out of style and I feel off trend.
You'd be rocking the short hair for a minute, though.
Yeah. Well, we chopped it all off, so we had no choice but to rock it for a while. But now I'm living the shag life, or whatever we call it. Shaggy. Also, this was the episode that sparked a lot of episodes. Pickle wasn't heat.
Oh, God forbid.
The start of the Heat Chronicles.
The Heat Chronicles of Pickle. Honestly, it's been a long road, a long journey for my girl. But she out here, she's spade as fuck. Yes. She ain't be hoeing around the Cleveland Heights neighborhood anymore.
She didn't go ass to ass with anyone.
Thank God. But was it a huge part of my life for a very long time? Yes.
It was.
I was very scared. And thank you for all the people who provided me with comfort and true facts about how dog breeding actually works.
You go off on like, she's way too young, and like a bunch of people are like, no, she's not. That's
she's
normal.
Not. Yeah.
I was just trying to make us feel better. Make you feel better.
But it snuck up on us, and she is fully spayed. What a wild ride that was, too.
Good job. Mm-hmm. Good job. We got through it.
Good dog parents. Thank you.
Thank you. God, all the stupid fights of the week. I honestly think the reason why our stupid fights of the week expanded was because of Pickle being in heat. Do you know how many of those fights were surrounded by your dogs? And Joe and
God.
Mike? Yeah.
And those still happen.
The neighbor dog, like, his dick is out. His dick is out.
Oh, he's out. He's out. It's like, his dick is out. I'm like, what do you mean he's out? Is he out in our yard? that thing poking out? No.
The Red Rocket.
Oh my God, no. But a lot of fights still happen around our dogs. And I think I just probably shut them out. Mm-hmm. The fights. I always try to think of stupid fights of the week, and I'm like, man, they're weird, you know? Yeah. They're wild. Like without a lot of context, it's hard.
Yeah.
Do you find that? Like,
yeah.
And it's like, I don't have time, and it's not that funny. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if people would find them entertaining.
Yeah.
Or if you guys do and really want it, I'll give it to you. But I always try to brainstorm, like, what's a good fight?
What we need to do, Jess, is we need to have journals in this month off. We really should have For Better and Worse journals.
That is really 100% correct. Because I just thought of like a bit. I remember driving home from Columbus yesterday, and I'm like, you'll remember that. Don't even write it down. Now I completely forgot it.
Well,
I
give
think
me a
it was
bit.
about the fray, but I mean, I went off in my head. I was like, and I'll say this, and then this will be funny, and this. It's just podcasting 101.
What happened to the fray?
Okay, really, that was the bit. I'm going off.
What happened to the fray?
Okay, I'm just saying because I was listening to "Look After You" by The Fray, one of the best. That baby, I look after you. It's good. It hits you right in the feels.
Yeah. How to Save a Life.
I mean, that was Grey's Anatomy's theme song. Am I right? Besides 2 a.m. and I come when the bomb episode. Where my Grey's people at?
Yeah.
Okay, but anyways, The Fray really hit us so hard with like this top-notch songs and just left us for death.
High and dry. And they didn't explain that, like, what people don't understand, like,
The emotion.
celebrities can't get away with like ghosting us like that.
Just like Steve from Blue's Clues. The true
Comes
ghoster,
back.
the true celebrity that ghosted us. Did you watch that video and feel emotions?
No.
Oh,
I watched it. Well, Josh
was
was like,
upset.
Josh was like, I have to show you this. And I'm like half watching it, and I'm like,
oh, you are stone cold. You're stone. I was in the hotel in Michigan after plenty of beers because I just love to get drunk in a hotel by myself. I had two microwave meals, one pizza, one lasagna, and a and a Mickey.
you've never been more swollen.
And a Mick Ulch, a good Mickey Slim in my hotel room, just sobbing. So I first started off with a good cry with Steve from Blue's Clues. That just got me. Obviously, the alcohol.
Maybe I watched like a minute of it. I was like, this is long.
I watched scenes from Girls, which you need to watch. Adam Driver, Lena Dunham, the best show, one of the best shows of all time.
I tried.
I'm so surprised at that. I thought you would love it. And I just started watching scenes that I know make me emotional. And I was like, need a good cry.
Mm-hmm.
So played it, sobbed uncontrollably. And I went down a YouTube rabbit hole and just cried. Woke up swollen-eyed 7 a.m. and shot my shot and left.
Nice.
Okay, I don't know how we got on that, but Steve from Blue's Clues.
And The Fray.
But yeah, that was, I just don't know what
Google
the fuck happened to them. No, I just feel like they did like a 3 to 4 albums and they were out. Like their new stuff was pretty good, but they were just like,
they got
what?
that Grey's Anatomy money rolling in.
We got you guys through your high school breakups, and that's all our purpose was.
Oh my God.
Am I right?
They were replaced with like Mumford and Sons. And
Lumineers.
Yep.
The whole indie.
Yeah.
But they weren't indie. Like
they were soft rock.
Are they considered cock rock? Also, I did listen to Far Away by Nickelback and got real into it.
Jess,
it's been a while.
I don't have time for that.
Okay. Moving on.
Okay. So this the premise of this episode was we gave our top piece of dating advice each. So it was like, if we could only tell you one thing. Mine was don't waste time on people who don't speak highly of you when you aren't around. We got into like a big kind of like respect tangent and how important that is establishing in a relationship, which I still stand by that. Like, if people don't speak highly of you, if your partner is constantly talking shit about you when he's with the boys or when she's with the girls or whenever they're in their friend group, right? Huge red flags, because I'm like something we said was like, quit complaining and get out. Like, if you are constantly complaining about your partner, just quit complaining and get out of the relationship.
Right.
Like,
clearly you're not making that person happy, or vice versa. It's like, what?
And it just, we see a lot of these relationships, and it's like,
that one still baffles me. Like, if you are talking shit, with your friends about this person, like, maybe you had an argument. I'm not talking like this person could never throw shade at you. Like, if they're upset with you, they're allowed to say how they feel. But I'm talking like major, like I'm coming for your character type shit. Like, no. You don't like that person.
Yeah.
So why are you forcing this?
Yeah. And why are you staying in a relationship? And like, it's your existence. You're spending your existence with someone you don't like.
No.
What?
Life's too short for that, dude.
And
life's too short.
Exactly. And I think we also talked about like liking the idea of someone and that was good. That being in like why you stay.
I think that hit a lot of people in the feels because I feel like that got on TikTok and I read the comments and people were like, didn't need to hear this today. Like someone was like, this not meant for me. Right. Yeah. It was, but it's very true. You know, I feel like you can, I mean, we talked about it, but just get like wrapped up.
Yeah.
Get wrapped up in just wanting a relationship.
Yeah. And I skipped through this part because I was like, too cringe, but I cried on that episode. That was when I talked about like my dad, like giving me his approval of Josh.
Oh yeah,
which seems like yesterday, but it was not. It was like April.
I remember those. We'd be crying on that codependency couch.
Crying.
We gotta get emotional availability back on this couch.
I know.
Maybe shoot for season 2. I think we're just so you're busy.
Season 2, the season of emotional availability.
I can't wait. What a debut. We will have.
Nice. Okay. And do you remember yours, Jess? You
remember
the top piece?
What, my fuck happiness?
Yes.
Yeah. Still stand by it.
We've revisited that.
It came full circle in such an organic way.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was so rad that it just really all came together and it one full circle.
Yeah. I do find myself really thinking back on that as when I get like,
you can get this way
depressed.
a lot.
Yeah.
Well, no, just with like things like your career.
It's success. So,
yes.
Like, I replace the word happiness with success. Like fuck success. That makes me uncomfortable. Like saying that. Like fuck happiness. I've had clinical depression. I've had all my problems for a long time. I get not feeling happy, and I would argue I can comply with that because it's like I never feel happy, but I experience joy. And I feel like that's made me pretty grounded.
Yeah.
But I chase success in a way that is like so unhealthy. And nothing will send me spiraling more than when I don't feel successful, when I feel like I'm failing, and when that affects my finances.
I know it. I mean, I ain't gonna
Jess let me have a fucking breakdown on Tuesday about it.
I ain't gonna throw shade here on this couch, but it's your demise.
Yeah.
It's hard too, because even if like Rach can be melting down and I'm just talking, right? Like maybe we should try this, like thinking of maybe some ways to go, and Rach just doesn't talk.
Yeah.
She'll just listen. I know she's listening. And she is either combating them in my head, like blocking off what I'm saying or taking it in, or both. And she doesn't, and she just doesn't say anything. And I was like, I like drove home. I'm like, I wonder if that helped her at all. But she needs to have this conversation. She needs to let it out.
Well, really what it is like my deep-seated belief is that like I'm alone. And like and especially with Gather, I am alone. Like my mom is technically a part owner / she helped me like with the funds to start it. But like no one else has access to the email or the social medias. No one else. Like I can't pay anyone to do stuff. And so I am alone. And so it's like I feel like a failure because I'm not making it work, because it's not financially successful, because I don't have the time to market for it. Like I can put all these reasons in my head. Like I know why. But it's still like someone once said in a DM to us, Rach, I'm a recovering perfectionist too. And I thought it was funny because I've never called myself a perfectionist. I've never claimed to be a perfectionist, because in my mind.
But you are.
Oh, and I know I am, because when I make a mistake, like trigger warning, like I feel suicidal when I make a mistake. And that's how like I've felt about this space. Like I've been so low with how this has gone. I felt like I don't deserve to live anymore. Like that's how serious it is. And like that's really serious for the ending episode of the pod.
Yeah, but it's like, where we're at. I mean, it's where you're at. You're speaking honestly. And
yeah. But like that's legitimately how I feel. Like the world would be better off if I wasn't in it, because I'm not successful.
That is not true.
And I really don't know where I got that from.
Me either, because it's like, that's not how life works. And I hate that you feel that low, because in my eyes, like it's still successful. You still are very successful at a lot of things that you do. Are you in a rough patch now with this? Yes. Will we get out of it? Yes. You always come up with stuff? Yes.
Yeah.
This isn't the end. We go up from here.
I know. I just feel like it's just like it is a definition dark place.
Yeah.
Like, and I think a lot of it is like I had an expectation for what this space would be, and it was very quick like that's not what this space is going to be. And it was like, okay, so if it's going to be more small events, how the fuck am I going to make that happen when I spent thousands and thousands of dollars making a co-working loft, when now it's like, what if I have to tear all that out? Because if it is small events, that's not super useful.
Right.
Like configuration up there. You know, it's
yeah.
like, the fuck? Like, I really don't do well. And that's also like kind of an ADHD thing. When I have a plan and it doesn't go to plan, I shut the fuck down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just
because
like,
in my head, I'm like, we switch it. We use what we have and we make it work.
Yeah.
And I'm already like there, like we can make that work.
Yeah. And I can imagine it working, but I'm still just like reeling from the fact that it's like, I did all this research. I talked to 40 local self-employed photographers, and they hyped me the fuck up. And they were like, yes, we'd love to work here. We'd love to do this. And fuck all showed up for me.
Yeah.
And that was so frustrating, so upsetting. And also I felt stupid because it's like, you know, this industry. Like, I know this industry. I'd led workshops and the same shit would happen. People be like, yes, can't wait to go, blah, blah, blah. Soon as signed ups go live.
Yeah.
Like, we're flaky people in general.
Yeah.
And I know that, and I went into it, and I feel like I should have known better. And that's the thing that really like kills me in this, and like in my feelings of being really low. It's like, you knew better. Like, feeling foolish is like, it gives me hives.
Yeah.
Like, feeling like, because in my mind, like, I feel like part of it's like egotistical. Like, I should know better. I should know everything. I do know everything. I should be prepared for any situation. And then it's like my ego pops when it's like, oh no, you ain't shit. Like, you don't know what you're doing.
But that's like something bad talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not your reality. So what is like, you're like, I could have done this, should have known this. Okay, well, now we have this. Now what? Now what? We shift and we move with how the pandemic is, where it's more small events. Like, that is also what you're really good at, making, you know, nothing into something. And we will.
Mm-hmm.
Here she goes. See, I'm talking to her. And she's disassociating. I know it. It's hard for her to hear. She's got to come with it on her own terms.
Why am I like this?
Why are we the way we are?
I really don't know.
We can get to that in another episode with therapy. You know what would be a nice check-in? You know what would be a nice check-in like this, like where we're at, like you feeling this way now, and like we come back refreshed in season 2, and let's see where we're at.
Let's see where we're at.
If we're at the same spot, that's okay.
I have a successful business. Who knows?
You already do. You have a lot of them. So
I don't though. Like, and I really don't feel like that. I feel like I'm good at my roles. Like, if we're talking like Rachel Beth Creative Co, like I do feel that like that.
You be taking risks. You're a risk taker in your businesses, and that's okay.
I need to stop.
That's a good, really cool trait.
I need to be enough.
I don't have that. I'm safe in my bubble.
Needs to be done.
That'll never be done. Everybody, thank you. Took a
turn.
Took an honest turn.
I guess leaving on honesty is the for better and worse way.
It is. It is so on brand for us, and we love that.
We do. And I mean, I'm speaking for myself, speaking for both of us. On this has been like the most unexpected, like joyful, exciting thing I've ever done. You know, like I do feel like, I mean, there were times with the success thing where I was really struggling when I wasn't measuring up to my own expectations for myself of posting on TikTok. But I feel like July, I let it go. I was like, this ain't happening. And I'm stepping away from worrying about it. But like in general, like just getting to hang out with you every week. No regrets. That's
never any regrets there.
It'll always be the best part of my weeks. And also just like having this community of people.
You guys are so rad, and you guys really show up for us. And as much as sometimes this feels like just us sitting on a couch talking to each other, we feel you guys love and support your DMs that come through and just like rock our fucking worlds, and we'll share them to each other. And like, what did we create? We always say this sometimes where we're like, who are these people following us? Or like, why do they care? But we know you, we see you, and we love you. And like, we really, truly would not be doing this if you guys didn't like give us the feedback you guys do, or like say that we've helped you through tough times, or you guys listen to us when you're feeling scared. Someone told me this, like that I just put you guys on in my apartment because I live alone and I feel like scared or unsafe. But just having some girls like just on my speaker just like really comforts me. I have goosebumps. I was like,
I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So that stuff really means the most to us. So,
and we are going to keep showing up for you guys. And I feel like it was a really hard choice to take this like break, but we're only doing it because we want to show up 100% ourselves every week. And we know that we need the space to recharge and come after it and miss you guys and miss this thing. And I promise we'll try to get on our stories. Give you some more Carrot Milk Chronicles.
Yeah, well, if you guys like that, like we'll give you some more into sneak peeks into our personal life and relationships and show you. I think that's fun.
We appreciate you guys and we love you, and we'll see you in November.
Yeah, that's a wrap on season 1 of For Better and Worse podcast.
I love you.
I love you.